Hello, Louise here from Project Thank You Design Studio. Thanks for watching today. I'm just going to quickly show you how you can design this very simple social media image which looks really cute and will make everyone want to share it. Okay, so I'm going to just group all of this together and delete it. So we've got a blank canvas and we can start from scratch. So first things first, we're going to create the nice corners that I had on there. So I'm going to just draw a simple black square and rotate it so that it is diagonal into the corner. It's a little bit less than that actually. Okay, so that's going to go actually a little bit more. Can't decide what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to make that a nice dark blue colour. Just knock off the black hairline border that's around the edge as well. Okay, so now we're just going to duplicate that and rotate it a little bit in the other direction. Put that in there, maybe a little bit more. Just playing around until you're happy with the shapes that you're creating, basically. So that's going to sit in that corner, and that's going to be a peach colour. Coral colour, probably more, sorry I should say. Now I'm going to add the glitter. So that is going to live in glitter backgrounds in Design Studio. Just add that in there. So that's just coming in as a small square, but actually that's fine, I'll leave it that size. Obviously if you want to make it bigger you can just enlarge it there, but the small size is fine for what I'm doing. And then you want to go to the layers panel, which is top left, and just knock that glitter square to the back of those shapes. Okay. So then just group those together and duplicate. So this is going to make the two corners. So now we're just going to rotate that until it sits in that corner. So just put it where you think it's going to go, and then we're just going to group the two corners together like that, and then using the align panel, we'll just align it to the center of the page and align it to the middle, and that will mean that they are both equally in the same position at each corner. Okay, so now we're going to get another rectangle shape on the go. Just draw it in like that and rotate it so that it's going to go across both corners. So I'm going to rotate it to like 45 degrees. I'm just going to uncheck this little box here. That's the proportion box, so that means I can just drag it and it's not going to stay in that perfect rectangle shape that it was in. So just going to pull it to the little edges of the glitter triangle. A little bit more up there. And just make sure that's in the middle of the page as well. Okay. So, and then I'm going to just make that white. And knock the border off because it's got a little black hairline border on the edge there. Okay, so there we've created the nice corners with the white panel in the middle where your text is going to go. So now I'm going to just draw the little white frames that I had around the edge. So holding my finger on shift and just dragging the rectangle to make it a square. Go to the colour panel and knock off the colour from the middle of the box. And then we're going to make the border white. Just make it a bit thicker and make sure it's in the center of the artboard. Okay, cool. And then just duplicate it, making sure that that box is ticked again because you want to keep this box in proportion. And then just make it a little bit smaller and send it to the middle again. And I'm going to make that one more of a hairline border, just to sit inside the thicker border there. Okay, so that's made the nice little border. Now I'm going to add some text. So we've got our, it's a single line of text, so in Design Studio that comes in with a curve on it, so you just knock the curve off there using that slider. And remember, when you're playing around with your text, you always want this box checked so that the text stays in proportion. So our, and then the next line is going to be life is what? Duplicate that. Our The next line is thoughts, duplicate, make it. Okay, so the typeface that I used for that line was called, let me find it, where is it? It's one of the new ones I've just put in. It's called Ginger Book. It's a good name, isn't it? There it is. Okay, that's a cute little quirky one, isn't it? Actually, I'm going to just duplicate that because I've used the same one for that line as well. So Life is What, that font is called Fish and Chips. I love that. Oh, that's supposed to say thoughts, not thought. So thoughts was, what did I use for that? Faith and Glory 2. And that line was Faith and Glory 1. You can just play around all of these nice hand-drawn looking typefaces. They look really quirky and cute, so you can play around with which ones go with the other ones and what looks good with what, you know what I mean? Just have a little play, have some fun with your fonts. And then just position them so that they look good. You want some nice spacing between each line. So you don't want your lines of text sitting on top of the other. You don't want to make it illegible. You want to give each line its own space to breathe. But then you don't want your lines like miles apart because that can make it look just like they're not speaking to each other, just disjointed. So, you know, so just work out your lines so that they look good and they're easy on the eye. And people are going to get what you're saying. Okay, we'll make that a little bit bigger and into the middle of the page again. And I'm going to change the colours, play around with the colours. So I'm going to copy this blue. And that's going to be pasted into there to change the colour of that word. And then I'm going to alternate the lines of text with the blue and coral. And that just makes the lines stand out and makes them more noticeable in this little message. Oh, that was the wrong colour. I was meant to do that with the coral. There we go. And then this one is the blue. Great. And then we just had a few more little design elements to add in. So I'm going to add in a little banner. I'm just going to use this one here, which needs rotating. You can just go to the slider and rotate it here. So it's pointing the right way in. I'm going to line that up with, you see I'm lining this up with the bottom of this white line. I'm going to make that the blue as well. And that is going to house my website address. So projectthankyou.com. Okay, and it's going to sit in there nicely. I'm just going to change the colour to white so it stands out. And then change the font to Archon. It's a nice simple sans serif font. And you don't want anything going too near the edge of the page, so just leave a nice amount of space around it. And then I had a couple more little arrow or elements in there, so we had this one, I believe, which is going to go in this corner. Just going to make this text a little bit smaller. Okay, make that the coral. And then I also had this little row of triangles in here, so that was in that corner, pointing into my text, drawing the eye of the reader into what you have to say. That's going to be blue. Okay. So there you have it. That was really quick and simple just to make from scratch. We've created our own background there. just by layering up different shapes and textures, adding the glitter in to make the different texture, which contrasts with the clear colour blocks, the blue and the coral that I've used. We've played around with the typefaces there, we've paired them well, they're all sort of hand-drawn looking typefaces, and it just makes it look a little bit quirky and fun. And then we've just added in a few different little art elements just to draw the reader's eye into the main message of the image. So there you have it. I would love to see your attempts. If you want to have a go at something similar to this, come along and share it in my Facebook group. If you just do a search for Project Thank You Design Studio Network on Facebook, and come on over and join in the design fun. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.